Hey there, thanks for tuning into Bricks. I'm Chris, and this past weekend at BrickCAN in Vancouver, Canada, I got a chance to take a look at some unreleased 2025 LEGO sets, and I was given permission to showcase them here for all of you. So what exactly are these sets? Well, they are part of the Bricklink designer program, which is a way for folks to essentially get their fan designs made into official LEGO sets. The reason why these are being showcased is because pre-orders for these sets actually go live this summer, even though they won't be shipped until early next year, making them 2025 sets. I personally can't wait to get my hands on them because they look really cool. They range from a pirate's island to a modular train station compatible with other modular buildings in your city to all sorts of incredible builds. And so let's go ahead and check out this latest round of Bricklink Designer Program Series 2 finalized sets, which will be shipped at the beginning of 2025. Alright, so at the Bricklink booth over at BrickCAN Expo in Vancouver, Canada, I got a chance to meet some of the folks behind Bricklink itself and learn more about the Bricklink Designer Program. But what exactly is that? Well, this is basically a way for people to crowdfund LEGO sets. It's kind of like an alternative to LEGO Ideas, which is really hard to actually have an official set produced at LEGO stores. The Designer Program is something that LEGO has done through Bricklink to allow folks to actually have their mocks produced as somewhat official LEGO sets, albeit through a very limited distribution platform. Series 1 has actually already come and gone, and these sets basically were given the chance to be funded all the way back a few months ago, but they won't ship for quite a while. I'm personally really excited to get these in the mail. Personally, I have funded every single one and I am looking forward to getting them. You can see it is the Old Engine Train Shed, the Mountain Fortress, the Parisian Street, the General Store, and the Snack Shack, and all of these had their options to be available for funding a couple of months ago, completely sold out as to be expected, and will be shipped months after the time of the pre-order, so I expect to get these maybe at the end of this year. However, Series 2 will actually open for pre-ordering and crowdfunding on June 6th at 8 a.m., and I will add that these designs sell out within literally minutes, especially if it is something that is related to a retro LEGO theme like Space, Castle, or Pirates. Expect those to sell out really quickly, so you really have to get the jump on being able to get these sets if you're interested. And the way it works is that basically, here you can see the actual production where these sets will be produced by November 2024 and the orders will be ready to ship approximately 6 months after you place your pre-order. So essentially, these will probably almost certainly not be shipping until January 2025, but it's really cool that we actually are able to get a hands-on look at some brand new 2025 LEGO sets, specifically the Ocean House, the Mushroom House, and the Ominous Isle, as well as the Brick Cross train station. Now, I actually got a chance to speak to the Bricklink team, and they did say the logging railway will also be at a future LEGO convention this summer that I'm attending, so I definitely will have a video coming out on that one as well. But let's just jump in and take a look at these sets. Now, at the time I recorded this footage, the Ominous Isle was still being pieced together, so that one was definitely a work in progress. However, for the other three, the Ocean House, Mushroom House, and Brick Cross train station, all of those were pretty much completed and ready for display. In case you're curious what the other series look like, we've actually already gotten confirmation as to the other sets coming out. This is the Series 3 finalists rankings, the Harbor Master's Office, Art of Chocolate, and the Forest Stronghold, which is obviously that one's going to be an amazing set, the Lost City, and the Camping Adventure. For Series 4, we also got our finalists chosen as the Merchant Boat, the Wild West Train, the Medieval Seaside Market, the Siege Encampment, and the Riverside Scholars, so a lot of castle-oriented items for Series 4, and the Series 5 palette is now live, where you have about 2 weeks left to submit your designs and essentially get your chance to have crowd supporting and funding being done by the end of this year, with crowdfunding being held in June 2025 and shipment to start in October of 2025. But without further ado, let's jump into a hands-on look at some brand new 2025 LEGO sets, starting off with the Brick Cross train station. So here is the Brick Cross train station by Marcos. Unfortunately, we do not have prices for any of these sets yet, although you could probably make educated guesses based on the number of parts included, in which case for this one there are 598 unique parts, but 3,050 total parts with 14 stickers and 8 minifigures. So with over 3,000 pieces, this is obviously not cheap, and it is a really detailed version of a train station. It is honestly not quite as large as the train station stud gate, which you can actually see referenced in the sticker on the boarding area there, but it is a really nice modular building compatible train station, something we've never actually gotten before. You can see the Technic holes on the side actually make this compatible in a modular city, which for me is really cool because I use the modular buildings in my own city, so I personally cannot wait to actually have this one on display. There is an additional cafe attached to the train station, End of the Dark Ages, which is a really nice reference because obviously the Dark Ages is the period in which an adult fan of LEGO kind of falls out of love with LEGO, so that's just a nice little AFOL inspired sticker there. And there's even a newspaper stand with some printed elements here, Newsbrick, which is really cool. It kind of looks like some of the newsstands like a W.H. Smith that you would see in the UK. And again, this is modular building compatible, so this will fit right in with your city. Now, what's really cool is that you can actually rotate the building aside, and the entire side panel swings open, where unlike some of the other modular buildings, you don't have the removable roofs, but you can see what the interior looks like with a kitchenette on the top, as well as a very small newspaper and convenience store being showcased on the bottom here. I particularly like just how compact they were able to make the entire space. Obviously it is fully dedicated to being a train station, but it's these extra little details other than just the train platform that bring it to life. Although I do really love the mouse with the cheese scattering around the train tracks. Now this is a really interesting building technique being done for the window panes, with Technic elements being used to attach the transparent elements, and I love the way that it's done all around the inside and back of the model itself, where you have a tiled interior as well as a staircase. It just is a really phenomenal model, a great looking train station, and one that I'm really excited to add to my modular city. Given past sets, I would expect this coming in at 3,000 pieces to be around $300. If we're unlucky, it'll be $350, and if we're lucky, we're going to be $250 because many of those parts are admittedly pretty small. But now let's move on to the next build, and personally the one that kinda caught me by surprise, but I'm actually the most excited for. This is the Mushroom House by Jonas Kram, who is one of the most iconic and well-known LEGO mockists and designers out there. He has done some incredible builds over the years, and this is pretty much no exception. Now the Mushroom House is really cool because it kind of fulfills a very specific niche in the LEGO world that isn't really being covered by any existing LEGO themes. It's a very out there, unique, and fantasy-inspired design, but it's one that works super well and actually could fit into a lot of different fantasy worlds, whether it be Castle or even Ninjago, where they have the wildness and Mysterium as magic-oriented lands. You never really know where you can see this pop up. It's a really nice and homely space where you can see there's a ton of details on the top floor, including a bed that's made out of leaves, a little painting area with an easel and a paintbrush, and even a whole decorated interior with a pot by a fireplace and a small chair as well. On the outside, you can see a really clever build for a water spigot, and I just really love these smaller mushrooms adorning the house, making use of the Technic macaroni attachments and a ton of studs on the side connection points here. And of course, you can open and close the teal door with an acorn print on it, just to add that extra cute factor. I also love the way the side builds are done. This one's using a construction armor piece, which previously has just appeared in the buildable figures, and this snail is really well done as well, making use of studs in the side techniques and some more of those macaroni elements to really just achieve very unique elements of shaping when it comes to the model itself. Overall, this is one of the ones I'm really excited about. This one has 964 pieces, with 385 of those being unique, so if I had to guess, maybe if we're lucky, this might actually be under $100. If we're really lucky, it might be 80 or 85, so we'll have to see. It does come with 3 minifigures as well, which is a really nice touch. But now, let's move on to the final set, which is the Ocean House by Harry Finkel. So here's that ocean house. It comes with 2,207 total parts, with 487 of them being unique, and this is actually sort of a continuation of the mountain windmill, which was part of the original Bricklink Invitational design process, which was super cool to see. It's sharing a lot of design aesthetics and similarities to that original set, which is kind of cool how this is part of its own little mini sub-theme in this world of Bricklink sets. The ocean house is just a really nice looking architectural design for a seaside house by the ocean, and I just really find the amount of detail packed into the set being incredibly detailed. There's even a little bit of a story tied to the set as well, which you can read on the actual product page on Bricklink, which is super cool. And overall, this is just another one of those really nice building sets. What's cool is that you can see there's all sorts of details in the house, not a ton of details on the top of the roof, but the interior is quite nice, featuring a map on the inside, some satchels, a place to grill some fish, and yes, a table serving up some cheese as well. And I just love the integration of some studs and these side techniques being used for some of the windows as well. They're making use of some great interior accessories and details with the rug in sand green, the flat top Minecraft style chest, and even a bit of a crane where you can raise and lower things in the water itself. This one feels to me the most like, again, a good candidate for the Bricklink Designer program, where it doesn't really fit within any of LEGO's existing themes, but kind of exists as its own thing, which is not a bad thing at all. Since it does come with over 2,000 pieces, I would imagine that this is going to be around $200 or so, which I think is fairly fair for what it is, especially the size of the model and the amount of pieces you get, but I guess we'll have to see when crowdfunding opens. And with that, let's take a look at the final set here, the Ominous Isle, which is a set that unfortunately wasn't finished building by the time that I actually got a chance to film this footage, so there's a lot of details that are not present. They really only were able to finish the main first mouth of the structure, but let's jump in and see what bits and pieces we can actually show right now. Now this is probably my second most anticipated set because it is pirates focused. I love the drawbridge that goes up and down from the mouth, and I also really love these studs in the side detailing of the mouth of the skeleton itself. Obviously, as you can see, huge work in progress, still a lot of parts that needed to be put onto it, but it's a really promising start, and I hope to be able to cover it in more detail when I actually see it fully built at a future LEGO convention later this summer. Overall, I just want to say a big thank you to the Bricklink team for allowing me to take all this footage and share this with all of you. I'm personally very excited for all of these sets to come out. You bet I've already set my alarm for crowdfunding to begin, because if I know from the past this is going to go by super quickly. But again, on June 6th at 8 AM PST, set your alarms because that's when these go up for sale, and I know they're not gonna last long. But those are just my early thoughts on some of these sets. Do let me know in the comments which ones are your favorite Bricklink Designer Program Series 2 sets, and would you consider ever making a set for the Designer Program, because it is a lot more likely you'll get an official LEGO set out of something you make compared to LEGO Ideas. We'll have to see, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this early look at some 2025 LEGO sets. Alright, and that sums up our look at some unreleased 2025 LEGO sets. Let me know down in the comments which ones are your favorites, which ones are you most looking forward to, and would you consider making a design for the Bricklink A-Full Designer Program and actually getting the chance to have your model turned into an actual LEGO set in a way that's a lot easier than LEGO Ideas. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this early look at some sets for next year. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.